24 hours is this attempt to try and shift the blame onto Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I tweeted it this morning. Hilarious how this worked. So this morning at must have been about 10 to 9, because I was in Leamington. I was doing a show with Ben Foster, and I was just about to go in for 9 o'clock. So at 10 to 9, I just got off a phone call, and I put a tweet out, and I said that the leaks about Ronaldo are not coming from the club or the manager. They are coming from people within the dressing room, and the reason they're coming from the dressing room is because the people in the dressing room want to shift the blame like they always do, and they're putting it on Ronaldo so that no one talks about how crap they were. Happened loads last year. It's happening again this year. Within an hour of that, mainstream media are talking about it, which is what we're going to talk about. There are abundance of leaks coming out of Manchester United. Would Ten Hag's best career move be right now to get away from United? I said that yesterday, Tyler. I think he's going to fail. I want him to succeed. I really hope he can, but I don't know. I don't see how. He's lost control because he was never given any control. In fact, Ten Hag loses control is completely inaccurate because he never had control in the first place. He's not done anything wrong to lose control. He's never been given control. You start calling out the Man United players who are leaking info from the dressing room, says Tomasi. I'll come back to that. And from owners down to the players, no one is held accountable, but the manager is judged by performance. No wonder the standards are low. Look, when it comes to leaks from the dressing room, because look, let's just hit this straight away, because people might be going, oh, what leaks? Look, Samuel Luckhurst, Manchester Evening News, chief Manchester United reporter. And there's loads of these to go through, by the way, and Manchester Evening News are not the only people talking about this morning. So these are coming from dressing room, definitely, 100%. But when it comes to leaks, if you imagine, I know most water pipes are made of metal, but for this analogy, imagine a water pipe made of wood. So your water's running through a wood pipe, yeah? How many leaks have Manchester United got? It would be like imagining that wood pipe with water in it and an angry woodpecker just smashing away at it for all day. That's how many leaks there are. There's bloody loads of them. Hedgehog on a lilo, whatever analogy you want. People thought when Dean Henderson and Jesse Lingard left, that was the end of the leaks. No, because it was never one or two. It's bloody loads of them. And how do these leaks happen? Basically what happens is, and it happens when you're playing well as well, so let's not pretend it's just always negative, but it's always been this way. Remember when we had Paul Ince on and he said this as well? You have relationships with journalists. You might get money for it, but you have relationships with journalists. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Every Manchester United correspondent will have some connection with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Man United players, whether it's through their agent or whether it's through the player directly. That is going on 24/7. That's journalism. That's the way it's worked. It's the way it's always worked. So, and the club will do that as well. The problem is, Manchester United players are blame shifters. They don't take any responsibility. It was a rarity on Saturday when David De Gea came out and said, it's my fault, I cost us the points, because we've never seen that before. And it doesn't take away from the fact that David De Gea was crap on Saturday, but it was actually quite refreshing to see a player come out and do that, because they don't do that. They're so desperate to preserve their own brand, they shift the blame all the time and never take responsibility, because why would they? Why would they? They've got away with it for years. Mate, surely at some point it all comes down to head and it's too much to take anymore. Went from the biggest club to the biggest laugh, says Nick97. And can't wait for the next game against Liverpool, says Messi, when we get back to the club. So effectively, if we go through some of this stuff that's coming out today, and we'll start off with what Samuel Luckhurst has been saying. And this will be well sourced, and it will probably be coming from the dressing room as well. Erik Ten Hag's decision to retain Harry Maguire as captain is not fully supported by the United squad, with a number of high-profile players still sceptical of Maguire's rank and its privilege of a starting role. I mean, I can't get my head around this, and I'm sure many of you can't do as well. I cannot bring solutions, and I don't think any of you can as well. The depth of Manchester United's problems goes far, far deeper than many of us thought. There is no new Manchester United. All I can categorise it like this. There is no new Manchester United. What we hoped for it when Ten Hag came in the middle of May, and the transfer targets that were leaked and the plans about what we were going to do, it's all gone to pot. James Garner is being sold. James Garner's being sold because he's the only player that someone will give us money for. James Garner should not be leaving Manchester United. Letting James Garner go and keeping Scott McTominay, that's like getting rid of your last can of beans and keeping the tin opener. What's the point in the tin opener? It doesn't do anything. There's nothing to open. So I don't get that at all. But I do get it because Garner shouldn't be being sold. He was fantastic last season in the Championship. He's gone and done his apprenticeship. He either goes on loan to a Premier League club or he's part of the first team. Selling him is ridiculous. You don't sell James Garner when you've got McTominay and Fred and Donny. You know, Donny doesn't get any game time. Why would you sell Garner? He's one of the only players who can take the ball off the back four. He might not be ready yet, but with Ten Hag's brilliant coaching or a loan to someone like Brighton, you keep that asset. The only reason we're getting rid of Garner, who doesn't want to be sold or didn't want to be sold, is because we know we can get 15 million. We're selling to buy. We're literally going to be selling James Garner to bring 15 million in to hopefully try and get Rabiot or something like that. It's a shot. It's not even short-termism. There is no word for this other than shambles. And I think the way you've got to look at Manchester United now is that this is not a new United. It's the same as last season, worse than last season. There has been no clear-outs. There has been no genuinely good recruitment yet in the key areas that we needed. The squad is disintegrated. They don't like each other. They don't play for each other. All we've done is brought a new manager in. In effect, Erik Ten Hag is just Ralph Rangnick last December to build a club, but no power to build a club. Now, Ten Hag's a better coach than Rangnick. I think Rangnick's a better builder of clubs than Ten Hag. I think they would have worked together really, really well. Unfortunately, that was never allowed to happen because Murta bloody stabbed Rangnick in the back like Woodward and Arnold did as well. But that's over. But what I'm saying is there is a big similarity between Rangnick and Ten Hag. They both came in with a CV to rebuild a club, but they've got no control to do it. Nothing has changed. And when you look at that there, I mean, look, I don't want to talk about Saturday anymore. It was a sodden disgrace, as you all well know. But I said it at the time. I never understood it at the time. Why was Harry Maguire kept as captain of Manchester United? If you're a new manager and you're looking to take control, you make a statement. I will pick my own captain. He picked the captain before he'd even had a training session. I'm pretty sure he announced the captain on his first interview when Maguire wasn't even back from his holiday. So that decision wasn't even based on coaching, I don't think. Or if it was very, very early days. So, look, I said this on Saturday and I'll say it again, and there's so much to get through. I don't want to dwell on this too much either, but there's too many dodgy things going on at that football club. Like Maguire being the captain, he's the worst captain we've ever had, and he's kept it. Bruno playing 90 minutes every week when he's crap. McTominay coming on, having been crap, ahead of Garner and Donny in a game that we're losing 4-0, and he's crap when he comes on. Rashford plays every week as well. Luke Shaw plays ahead of your new signing. Varane sat on the bench. There's just weird stuff going on at that club that I just don't think it makes any sense. And yes, if we don't make any sense of it, there will be people in the squad who don't understand it as well. Because as I said yesterday, Harry Maguire is liked by some of the players at Manchester United, but they don't respect him as a leader because he hasn't got the ability to lead. So it is weird. Some of this is on Ten Hag for not listening to Rangnick. He's found out the same information that Rangnick did last season about these players. Aram, at the moment, there are big similarities between Ten Hag and Rangnick, and Ten Hag has probably listened to the wrong people, but he's got to think of himself very, very quickly. He's got to think about himself. He's got to demand control or walk out, because otherwise he's heading towards a bloody disaster. It's absolutely ludicrous that the club want to sell Garner before giving him a fair shot. I'm disgusted by it, Muyad. I really am. Some of this is on I've done that from Aram. Blame should always mainly be on the owners. New owners means new board, and a competent board would deal with the players needing moving on, says Nick97. Maguire is a god-awful captain, and it's on him at this point. Yes, it's not on him that he was picked, but he should have the character to recognise he's not up to the task, says Marcus. Look, I don't want to individualise it. You know, people talk about De Gea, Ronaldo, Maguire, Rashford, Bruno, Shaw. There's a lot of players, McTominay. Collectively, all players have to take responsibility, but it doesn't mean you can't itemise and analyse individual decisions that have been made that make no sense like that. Finally, Frankie de Jong said to his teammate that a move to Manchester United is very likely, and what on other transfers, says Jesse. Mark, maybe these players that kept getting picked have a certain condition in their contract that keeps them in the starting lineup, says Akesh. Just on Frankie de Jong, by the way,